Welcome to the Everyday Board Game Podcast with your hosts, Daniel.
And Daniel.
Daniel, good evening.
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah?
It is a good evening.
It is a good evening.
Next week is tomorrow's gonna suck. Tomorrow's evening is gonna suck. Man.
Thank goodness we're not filming tomorrow. Because you told me about, we're having a high wind advisory.
Yeah, we're supposed to get 40 to 50 mile per hour winds tomorrow. So I was like, it's a good thing we're recording on the Monday normal.
I'm glad I have tomorrow off. I'm just going to kind of chill at home.
Oh, that's the parent thing, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't need to be there, so I'm not going to be there. And I'm going to stay at home, hunker down, maybe play
and not get blown away.
Not get blown away. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, man.
Staying home all day long.
Tomorrow's wind is going to be brutal. Now, are your kids off as well, or they still got the high school?
No, in fact, my son is in class right now.
Well, I know, but he started the early college.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I was asking, because I know...
They were off from their high school classes, yes.
Oh, okay, so they are off tomorrow or today?
Today.
Today, okay.
Tomorrow, they're still both going to school.
Okay, I wasn't sure...
I think.
Little do you know.
I gotta check this out again. I don't actually know. I'm glad you reminded me, because... Lord knows I don't
So you won't have to play solo games if they're off tomorrow. You could just force them to play.
That's true. That's true. Priorities, you know?
Yep. So today's going to be a fun episode, as you can already hear with this banter right now.
Uh-huh.
We are doing a board game brainstorm, and we decided to tie it with an earlier episode. Since we had that lovely interview earlier in the month with Trey Chambers, we decided to talk about his oldest game, Argent, the Consortium.
That's right.
Which, by the way, this list was rough.
It was. I spent more time thinking about this one than most other breakdowns that we've done.
Yeah, some of them have been pretty simple enough.
Yeah.
And I kind of went about this as like, I don't want to do just everything as a worker placement game, because that really does follow the easiest path.
Right.
And so, like, I want to give some uniqueness to this. And even then, with the worker placement stuff, too, when I was looking at that, I'm like, well, that doesn't really make sense here, because what this game actually does. So I was like, okay, how do I do this? I have 2.5 worker placement games on my list. And we'll get to that when we go into there. But other than that, I try to have some stuff that gives you that kind of different uniqueness that Argent does.
Yeah. I mean, Argent is an interesting game, but, like... Now, I'm going to peel back the curtain a little bit and show you behind the scenes. Normally when we do this, there's about 1 or 2 games that come to mind immediately, right? None of these. I really had to think about
one game came to my mind.
Oh, that's
easily.
one more than me.
And that was it. It was just the one game. And we kind of had a discussion last week about it.
It might even be a crossover. We'll see.
We'll see.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But yeah, let's tell them about Argent. Let's tell them, like, what
you know it better than I do, so...
Okay, so... Or should we wait?
Should we wait? Because we still have another segment.
We still have one more segment. Let's talk about our segment. Daniel, what have you been doing outside of games?
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
It's
because
up to you.
I have stuff to talk about.
I really kind of don't. Okay, so I'll go first. Daniel, what have I been doing outside of games? No,
Not much.
We were talking about it, right?
Yeah.
And I've been really hunkering down and doing a lot of stuff that is gaming related. And, I was about to say unfortunately, but the thing is, while that's incredibly fortunate, that makes it very difficult for this segment.
Yes.
Because really, most of the things that we've been doing, that I've been doing specifically, has been working on the playtesting room, getting a playtest group going.
Yep.
A lot of work adjacent stuff, working with prototypes, making sales sheets. Like, I've been really hunkering down and focusing on game design the past few months.
And not just on your personal game designs, with your other side business as well, that also deals with games in a way.
That's true, yeah. So I co-own a mobile escape room business because, we like puzzles. Puzzles are awesome. And so we have been really, like, going full speed in building our most recent escape room design. This has been an incredibly ambitious one. I'm not going to give super much details, but it's a really ambitious escape room design. Mm-hmm. And to give you a level of understanding of how big this is, we started this before COVID. And we were doing playtesting for this experience. But then after the lockdowns happened, we pretty much couldn't do it, and it does require larger amounts of people. So,
and you were specifically building this for certain reasons too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff that you go to as well.
Yeah, we were planning on large groups.
Yeah.
Explicitly large groups. So that, like, there was a year and a half where we couldn't do playtesting, and then we kind of fell to the side a little bit while we worked on other projects. But now me and my cohort. We are both really going down and hunkering in and getting the props built, getting all the things tested, all the mechanisms ready.
Trying to lock down artists.
Trying to lock down artists, which we did, thankfully. And just like a whole bunch of different things like of our planning. Now we're kind of doing ordering of some of the props, which is, takes it's a chunk of change, but that's okay.
Especially for the size that you want to do this as. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but when it's done,
I know a lot of the outside of all this that I can't get into too much detail about it, but this is ambitious between the two of you.
Mm-hmm. So, and it's just us two. So. Yeah. There you go. Outside of gaming, other than my own personal playtesting, that's about the most outside of gaming thing I can do.
All right, so for me, I haven't really been doing a lot outside gaming. Me and my wife went on a trip recently to Tucson, but that was more for me to do a normal game run that I normally do, that usually we do together. And I'm more than happy to go with you guys when you're ready to do yours, because I still have like $200 in trade-in cash. Yeah. But it was mainly for her to go to the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show up there, or Southern Arizona, whatever it's called. But yeah, she had a really, really good time with that. But the main thing I've been doing outside of gaming is I've been spending a lot of my time. I'm a sports person. I watch a lot of sports. I wear a lot of baseball hats. Mm-hmm. I wear a lot of sports hats in general. The one I've been doing, because it is the month of February, is I've been watching a massive ton of Winter Olympics. In fact, one of our game nights, I had a curling game on in the background while we were having game night. And it's because I'm always a sucker for the Olympics. I am more of a Summer Olympic guy. I love a lot of the sports that are in the Summer Olympics. But I do enjoy the Winter Olympic sports like curling, like hockey, like the biathlon. It always intrigues me. Like or some of the skiing marathons where people are running uphill in skis and make it look effortless. Yeah. Like the guy was running, like they were saying, like, oh, he's doing like a 4-minute mile and he's running uphill in skis. And I'm like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
So
like we were all kids once trying to run up a slide,
Yes.
When you normally fall on your face, then
and that was in normal shoes. This dude's in skis doing that. It's crazy. Yeah. But I mainly been watching like my favorite stuff, like the snowboarding, the half pipe. Chloe Kim.
Yeah, Chloe Kim's awesome.
Did a fantastic job. She won silver though.
Spoilers. I haven't really seen it. No,
yeah. She lost to South Korea. Dude, this has been a week old, so that's on you if you haven't watched it by then.
I didn't even know what happened already.
Yeah. The I think most of because it's held in two places. It's held in Milan, or Milano as they call it there, in Cortina. Cortina is where all the mountain courses are, where the half pipes, the skiing and stuff like that. Where Milan has all the indoor arena stuff. So like the speed skating. I just recently saw, I forget this guy's name, excuse me, but he set an Olympic record because he was just flying on the speed skating. The fact that people could move like that with 3-inch blades on their feet intrigues me. Watched a massive amount of hockey. So much hockey that it is ridiculous. The U.S. women, as of today of recording, are going to be going into the gold medal round. Hopefully sometime next week when you hear the top 8 debate, they will hopefully have the gold medal. Who knows? But they are going up against Canada, their biggest rivals. But the fact of the matter is they've outscored their opponents throughout the entire Olympics 32-1. They set an Olympic record of 5 straight shutout games.
Whoa.
Also been watching a lot of curling. The mixed doubles was intriguing. U.S. Got silver medal on that one. That made me happy, especially for the fact that I forget Corey Lease, whatever her name is, because that's in the mixed doubles. She's the first U.S. woman to get a medal in the Olympics for curling. And right now, the women's in curling are doing really good, and they are a possibility to get a medal as well. They've won some come-behind victories, I think most recently against China. So yeah, it's been fun. I've been really enjoying the Olympics. If I'm not watching the Olympics, I'm watching the TV show Grimm again because I really do like that show a lot. But it's been nonstop Olympics. Pretty much all week. I'll just put it on the background and start doing stuff, and then I'll just stop whatever I'm doing to watch whatever action I'm watching right now. Yeah. And it's like, wait, I was vacuuming, right? Well, was that what I was doing?
What chore was I on?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
so you're vacuuming the half pipe.
I was. So for me, that is what I've been enjoying the most is the Winter Olympics.
Cool. All right, let's get into today's episode. This is Board Game Brainstorm, Argent, the Consortium. What do you remember of this?
I remember a couple things. One, it's a worker placement, and it's deals with wizards. Mm-hmm. Not like it's a wizard school, that much I know as well. But it also reminded me, I remember the follow mechanism that this game does.
Yeah,
that is the big crux that I really remember. It's called shadowing, I think, in this game, and you can pay a. Some of them require you to pay like an action token or something like that for you to do it. Now, that much is more so all I really remember of it for those simple reasons. But I do remember enjoying playing this. I know I had to play it a second time to really understand why I enjoyed it.
Because we played it almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, right? It was like one of the first time it came out kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was heavy for that time. Much heavier than what we're used to.
Yeah.
Now it would probably be fairly simple, but we've had to build our way up to that point.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bit rough the first time I played, and it probably didn't help that first time I played it. I really struggled with other people with AP. It's like you have two options. You either do that action and you can follow if you in turn order if there's spaces for it, or not. And it just that was one of the frustrating things for me the first time I played it, and playing it the second time made it a lot better for me.
I remember, so one of the big things that I remember really liking about it is how basically you're trying to become like the new head of the school, and you're going to get votes from like 10 different other heads of schools, right? Yeah. But they're all secret at the beginning of the game, and you're able to get these marks that'll let you look at those ones. Yeah. And if everyone gets a mark on it, then you reveal it. But those are going to be ultimately who wins the game is whoever gets the most votes from those. Yeah. And so some of those, there's just not enough time to go through them all, but there's crazy amounts of them, and you're not going to finish up by the end of the game. Yeah. So, but getting that information is vital to where you want to path. Like some could be as simple as most mana, some could be most purple build abilities, one could be most workers, right? Yeah. One could be most marks that are on there.
The other thing,
points, stuff like that.
The other big thing I remembered about this one, because this is the first worker placement that I control workers, but they all have variable powers, and I can pick and choose which ones I get.
Right. Yeah, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, it was so different at the time because you always just had these group of workers and this is what you put out.
Yep. And you would have your own little shield on their bases and stuff. That's how you knew it was yours. Yeah. But yeah, it was, and it's a great production. Yeah. But effectively you're trying to become the head of this wizarding school, or not the head, but like the next head of that own specific school. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to do our brainstorm about it. If you're not familiar with these episodes, we'll explain it right now. It's really simple. We break down a single game, and based on our 5 G.A.M.E.R criteria, we will give you recommendations on if you like this game, you might like these other games for this reason. Or if you like these other games and you're not sure about Argent and the Consortium, hopefully this will help clarify that for you.
Yeah, and we use our G.A.M.E.R criteria, and pretty much everything we do, our compare and contrast, where we take down 2 games, we use in our top 8 debate, and so... This is just to give you the recommendations whether you're going to like Argent, or if you do like Argent, you're going to like these other games based on what that feel is.
Yep. All right, so shall we get into it?
We shall get into it.
There we go. We're going to start with G.A.M.E.R.
And this is game immersion. This is the G.N.G.A.M.E.R. Is the game fun to lose? Is there player interaction, whether it's table talk or role-playing, getting into the characters? And is there those memorable moments? And this one, for Argent, has a lot of those memorable moments when you're like, oh, you took that spot from me, and then you blew up my character over here because your special power allowed you to shove someone out of there for you can take that spot. Yeah. So you have like all this stuff, and it gives you that table talk. You're basically trash talking each other after they attack one of your wizards and send them to the medic facility. It is also a fun game to lose because you're like, I don't know how many votes I'm getting, but I think I'm meeting at least 3. Who else is going to fight me on this? And you kind of see that information. Oh, wait, he's got a tag there and he's got a tag there. Do I need to concentrate on this other one? And so it leads to that talk, and then everybody's not like, wait, I know what you're doing over here, so I need to go take care of this so I can get the vote over there and cancel your vote over here kind of thing. So yeah, it is got a lot of that fun interaction that you expect in game immersion. You do sometimes feel like you're wizards. So the game I picked is one of the 2.5 worker placement games I said it was on my list. This is a fun one for me if you're into that kind of lore. This is Fallout Shelter, the board game. I like it because it has those variable workers, different ways you're going throughout the game, because you can send your worker to train, and now they're trained in perception, so they have a stronger skill for these perception checks. You have good strength skills. It feels like the phone app, that game out there. So you have all these workers that get trained to be better and become more explorers, but then you have these things that come in that you have to go and fight, and that includes in Argent, where you have like events coming out that could do some at the very beginning of a turn.
Right.
It's very a thematic game. It has fantastic components, just like Argent, but it's not over the top. It has one of my favorite components is those over inlay cards that when something is getting attacked by a rad scorpion, or a room getting attacked by a rad scorpion, or a feral ghoul, or a glowing one, you just put that thing over the top, and then that room's locked off, so someone has to go fight it. And you might want to send a character that has charisma to go talk his way out of this situation. So I really, really do think this fits in the game immersion aspect, because it is a fun game to lose. It does have that player interaction, because it's like, I'm building this building. Guys, come on and work over here, because now you're going to give me a resource if you come to this room. It's very powerful, and you get a guy trained in strength. So I get a resource of my choice, and you get a very powerful guy when you do a recall situation. So it leads to those aspects. I enjoy this game a lot. Fallout Shelter, the board game.
Very cool. The one I picked, even though game immersion is not necessarily theme, it is the one that pertains to theme the most. And Trade Chambers did kind of bring it up. It's like, obviously this is a wizarding school. And what other theme, or what other game or theme is a wizarding school? And so I picked the best iteration of a Harry Potter game. Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. Well, mechanistically, it's a very different game.
Yeah.
You feel like you're wizards growing up in this school.
Especially
you're
with some of the
powers.
expansions.
Yeah, with some of the expansions. You're getting these extra powers. You're becoming more unique. You're getting to be in charge of different things and being able to use your powers for the collective goal. While even though you're competing against each other in this game, this is like essentially the Harry Potter strategy game, right? And I say that lightly because, like, I don't think the intent was supposed to be, like, wizarding school and stuff. But it does bring it out with a lot of the different things that you can do in it. It doesn't shy away from the fact that you are doing spells. You are doing these big things. You are gaining abilities. You are getting all these cool mechanisms. I couldn't not at least give at least one tie to Harry Potter. So Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle is my game immersion pick.
I did not give any ties to Harry Potter in my thing, because I am boycotting Harry Potter.
That was my one and only. One and only. All right, on to the next one. Art and production. And that'll be me. Art and production breaks down, which is the A in our G.A.M.E.R criteria. It breaks down to the art, pieces and components, and the graphic design. And now, I'm going to be flat out. The only games that kept coming to mind...
Cascadia?
No. the only games that kept coming to mind were other level 99 games. Because it's their production and their art style is bar none, right? But this is not level 99 game.
Okay.
So, really, you could take any level 99 game and you
put
probably have a good chance.
Spooktacular on this list?
No. If I was going to put
I would say Bullet more before the...
I was going to say BattleCon. Because it uses the Indyne system. But no, I found a game that is vibrant, has great pieces, and again, it's a very different game, but it does have that anime-esque style to it, even though it's a totally non-anime artist. And I picked Tribes of the Wind. This one fell in my mind because I was like, okay, I can see that because it is anime-esque, right? It's not quite the same, but it has that big vibrancy.
I was this close thinking you were going to put 12 Rivers on this one. On this spot right here.
Oh, okay. I can see... That would make sense, yeah, but no, I picked Tribes of the Wind just because I wanted to go more of an anime manga-esque style. But then great pieces on top of it. So Tribes of the Wind.
Yeah, no, that was a good pick. I thought about it quickly. It was on my short list. It was one of those. And I was like, I could totally see you putting 12 Rivers on there because it's got that kind of anime-esque there. Yeah. It's such a different, unique mechanism that you wouldn't expect. So yeah, so, okay. I didn't put that one either on mine. This one is a hear me out kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's
mine was pretty rough, too.
There's going to be a lot of in here on this one.
Yeah.
But the one I picked here has great art. It's from a company that I enjoy, and you actually enjoyed your play of this one. Mm-hmm. It has a follow action like Argent does, but it plays kind of uniquely different than you would expect. It has anthropomorphic animals in this one rather than anime style. And this is Citizens of Spark from Thunderworks Games. It has some, like I said, great, fantastic art, some decent components over here. You interchange, and you're just playing cards out in a certain way. And if I have a grouping here, this is the power I get to do this ability at. And if you have those cards in your tableau, you can follow that action with your ability as well. And it plays quickly. It's one of the quicker games on my list here. We could probably play a game of this in about 45 minutes or so. It's not going to take too long, like Argent can at times. But the artwork is fantastic. The pieces and components are great. The graphic design is very legible. It is actually a really decent rule book that you can get through the game pretty quickly. So yeah, I really did enjoy this one.
All right. So on to our next category.
Mm-hmm.
This is M for Meaningful Choice.
Mm-hmm.
We're just rocketing through this.
Oh, yeah.
These tend to be one of our shorter episodes.
Yeah,
but it feels faster than normal. I don't know.
Yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay.
We're doing all right.
Yeah, they'll appreciate a shorter episode because some of our podcasts go about 2 hours. So.
All right. Oof. All right, you get a start.
That was you.
Nope.
Oh, no, okay, it was the letters. All right, so my meaningful choice is a game almost as old as Argent is, but it is getting a reprint coming out here soon. This is one of the other worker placement games I have on this list, and this is a big and doozy one. You want that fantasy theme. You want that massive worker placement style game where you're fulfilling contracts to get the notoriety from lords, or in this case, teachers for Argent. This one is one game I'm not a huge fan of, but I do enjoy it, and we were talking about it last week, Lords of Waterdeep. Renegade Games is giving it a big reprint, I think, later this year, so it's out there. You can find copies of it out there. I don't think it never went out of print, per se. You could always find copies of it. I picked this one because it is all about completing those quests, getting the most prestige. You get all these cool little characters, the very unique characters, cubes, where you have warriors, you have the mystics, the clerics, and stuff like that, the wizards and stuff like that we're going to help you complete these certain agendas. You're building up the board, putting out these new buildings over there for you to get some resources as well if people use those worker placement spots. It's a good fantasy theme on it as well. There is a lot of good choices on it. It is showing its age nowadays, and we were talking about it. I was talking to you guys last week when we ended game night, and I'm like, if there's a game that deserved like an Awakened Realms style update and blinged out kind of style, it is this one. It is popular for a reason. It's just, for me, it's showing its age, but it is going to give you all that crunchiness that you would get from Argent, other than like the following. Maybe the following is just a little too tricky for you, but you want a good, crunchy worker placement games, then Lords of Waterdeep would be the perfect one for you.
So one of the things about Argent is, and that a lot of people say, is that while it does some amazing things and it's there's a lot of things going on, that might also be a detriment because it has everything is variable. It is one of the most replayable games, which we'll get into that category in a minute. But the fact is, like, there's multiple locations. Workers do different things. Spells modify all of that. You have different endgame goals. You have about 20 different resources, and I'm exaggerating. But, like, you have all of these different things. And for the game, pound per pound, that is a heavy game because there is so much that can go on in it. And it takes up the whole table. So I wanted a game that embodies how big that game was, and where just about anything you do can be that immersive, that big. So I went with a worker placement, A Feast for Odin.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get why you went with this one, but
I did.
God.
I couldn't think of any other one that I thought made the most sense because it's literally like almost every segment is its own game.
It's almost as sandbox as Argent can be at times.
Yeah, it's a sandbox worker placement game, like a pure Euro sandbox game, which doesn't make sense. Like, it's not like you're going storytelling stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing a Euro game, but there's so much possibility in all those. Feast for Odin is Uwe Rosenberg's like biggest game, where you're basically making a meal for Odin.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
Sort of, yeah.
But you're also Vikings, and you're going like building stuff.
You want a seat at Odin's table, basically.
Yeah, you want a seat at Odin's table. So it's this whole thing. There's many different mini games. There's a lot of ways to get points. It's a wild game. Feast for Odin. That's why I picked.
About as long, if not longer, than Argent.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe not as big of a table eater, though.
Oh, no, it is a massive table eater.
It is.
Yeah.
But maybe not as big as Argent.
Yeah, there's only one game I think is bigger than Argent as a table eater that I own. And that's Evolution.
Ah. That's fair. All right, ease of play.
All right, we're almost done.
Ease of play. So, ease of play breaks down to the simplicity and familiarity of the mechanism, likelihood to get to the table, whether it's theme or mechanisms. Yeah, and is it easy to understand, learn, or teach? Argent is a hard game to teach. Really hard game because people will their eyes will gloss over. They'll go into a slightly comatose state, and while the juice is worth the squeeze, as we say here, you know.
Yeah.
When you get to that point where you're like, okay, I do get it, I do understand it, there's so much I had to go into that part where the fact of worker placement, that's not difficult. Knowing that you're getting all these resources that work in different ways isn't the difficult part. But when you put the whole piece together, that's when all of these crazy possibilities open up. So speaking of Steveolution, that's what I picked for my ease of play. Because I think that is about as easy. I don't think it's easier. I think that's about as easy as Argent and Consortium.
Go ahead, explain yourself.
Okay, so at its core, it is just roll 2 dice, choose where those 2 dice meet. So if I roll a 6 and a 3, I just pull my 6 and a 3. There's my action.
You roll more than 2 dice. You just take 2 dice out of your pool.
You take 2 dice, right? Yeah, I mean, you roll a handful of dice, right? And you decide which one you want to do as your X and Y axis. Then you just do the action that's there. Fundamentally, that's pretty simple. Functionally, it's a little more complicated than that because you take the action, then you take the bonus that's on it, then you take actions that cascade into other actions, which might let you get other dice to possibly trigger other actions or variations on it. This thing has an 8-page reference guide for every player.
Just the player guide. You know how some people give you like 1 or 2 double-sided cards? This is an 8-page booklet for each player.
Right. So, because of how much stuff is going on, where functionally it does make sense. Once you get past that thing, we had to do our homework, but then when we got into the game, we're like, okay,
I see how this works.
Yeah, we get perfect sense of what it's doing. That entry level, that learning curve, is where I put this on the same par as Argent. They're both bigger games. They're both meaty games. They're worth the squeeze. They're absolutely lovely once you get it, and once you get past all of the little contingencies, you can know that the game itself functionally is pretty simple.
I totally went in a complete and opposite direction. This is my half worker placement game because I think you only get like 1 worker kind of thing. And this is a very simple game. Very beautiful too. This could go in my art production as well. This has a fantasy theme on it, and kind of anthropomorphic animals as well. This is Flamecraft.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, it has simple turns.
Yeah.
You're basically putting out your worker either to gather resources or to fulfill contracts.
Instead of Harry Potter, it's a Miyazaki film.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It has a very lovely theme on it. You're basically just trying to fill in recipes to score the most points. It handles very well. It's very cutesy. It has very simplistic worker placement aspects of it. And it's all about that resource management, whereas Argent, it's more about you're getting your resources to turn into this, whether that resource is mana or other wizards or all these different actions. Flamecraft gets all that, distills it down to the simplest turn that you can play with a younger audience as well. And so that's why I was like, okay, this one has to go on here. And like I said, it's worker placement, sort of. It's kind of Rondell-esque as well. The different paths that you can go on to. It's a very simplistic game, and I think it works very well to this comparison.
And that also does look a lot more complicated than it actually is.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And our last one, replay value.
All right, and when we're talking about replay value, we're talking about the length and time and scaling well. As we mentioned, Argent can go a little long. The minimum number of plays for the full experience, because of the variability of Argent, it has a good chance that you're going to have to play it multiple times just to see everything that's in that game. And expandability, if it already has existing expansions, or if they've been announced that they're coming out by the designer or the publishers and stuff like that. So Argent has, 2 expansions? 3? Something like that? So. Yeah. And so the game I picked for my replay value is one that does have 2 expansions. It's kind of a different one. It's a little card game that does something a little bit different, that has that magic, and the resources are your stones, but it gives you stones, but you're only allowed so many. So if you overbuy a card, you don't get change, and you're only allowed to hold 4 or 5 at a time, depending on where you're at. And this is Veil of Eternity. And it has 2 expansions. It's about taming different creatures to help you score the best, where you can start triggering them to give you a lot of good abilities. Gives you that little combo-tastic that you expect for like worker placement or tableau building games. It's a fantastic looking game. I haven't played the expansions. I do want to get them. I just both of them are sold out in the States. I haven't been able to find them in any store. And trust me, I was just recently looking when I was in Tucson for either one of these expansions. But I do like this game. It kind of gives you a TCG feel without being a TCG game. Sure. It has this really cool core mechanism where it's like a drafting system. It's an open draft, snake draft. So I'm reserving this card to buy it, and then I could either pay for the card or I could sell the card to get the money for it and then use that money to buy the second card next in turn. And so I reserve this card first, but I can only get stuck with the last card last. And so it's decisions that you got to make. And it plays so well. I do want to get it to the table again. I've been thinking about it since it's my pick this week. I might get it to the table this week.
I still haven't played it yet.
So my pick for replay value is Veils of Eternity.
Okay, and then this one is not a worker placement, nor a Euro, or even close. But the reason I picked it is because Argent, the Consortium, is unapologetically wild. And what I mean by that is that everything has variables that you can modify. There is so much replay value in the base game alone, just because of the combination of what spells come out, what wizards you start with, what things you're going for, even the rooms can have different sides and different abilities, and they're randomized depending on the number of players. There is just so much different variable stuff that even and because of how wildly different they are, even one room difference would make a huge difference in a multiplayer game.
Especially for stuff that you're working for. It'll change your game plan.
Exactly. Like if you and me played a 3-player game one night, and then the next night we went to it and just changed out one of the rooms, that is already so drastically different that I wanted a game that every little card has that much of an effect on it. So I picked Cosmic Encounter for this reason. Again, it's a very different game, and this has way more expansions because it's been out since the 80s. But it is one of those games that is... Yeah, Cosmic Encounter's been out since the 80s.
70s, dude.
Has it been 70? No, I think it was 1980 the first one.
1979.
Woo! Anyway, so...
Or 8.
Cosmic Encounter is... it's been out forever, so it has a bunch of expansions.
The game's... I know this for a fact because the game's older than me.
I'm holding back the joke right now. All right, so... No, but it's so unapologetically wild that it's awesome. 77, good lord. Okay. So even the reprint, the massively updated reprint is almost twice as old as this game.
Yes.
We're talking now. So no, it's so cool, and I picked Cosmic Encounter because I love the fact that it's it just can do everything. If I trade out one single character for one of the others, that game is going to be massively different. And it's sci-fi.
Yeah,
so which is kind of cool.
And if you want to, too, if you want a fantasy theme on it, if you can find the Game of Thrones version of it, it's out there, too.
Yeah, Game of Thrones, the Iron Throne. Yeah, absolutely. So that's my pick for replay value.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that one. I thought for a minute there you were going with Millennium Blades. I thought you were going to put Millennium Blades on here. Just the way you were
not to put any other level 99 game. Although, if you want variability and replay value, level 99 any level 99.
Yeah. Spectacular, which is one of their more recent ones.
Yep.
Very variable.
Imperial,
just outside the box.
One from Trade Chambers.
What we just said, Millennium Blades is very... Bullet is very very replayable. They just announced 2 more expansions. So...
It's wild. It really is. All right. Well, we hope that has given you some ideas for why we like Argent the Consortium so much, and some other games that will pique your interest. Or if you like any of those games that we listed, still look into it. Don't go off of that assumption, but tell us your thoughts down below and what games you'd recommend as well.
And for once, you guys are getting a nice little short and sweet video.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Or audio podcast, too.
That's right. So we want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you ever want to email us directly, you can email us at everydayboardgames2020@gmail.com, whether that's to give us ideas for future episodes, enter in contests, or just to say hello. Also, we have an Instagram, instagram.com/everydayboardgames, and make sure you follow us there so you can get notified on the games Daniel and I have been playing lately. Or whatever else I post.
Yeah, there you go. As all video re-uploads and reviews are found under youtube.com/@everydayboardgames. And if you like what we do, there are 3 things you can do to help us grow on the platform. Subscribe if you're not, like the video, and comment down below and tell us your thoughts on the subject.
We also stream our episodes live at twitch.tv/everydayboardgames. Make sure you follow us there so you're notified when we stream our episodes live and join in on the conversation during our episodes.
And all audio versions can be found on most podcast platforms under Everyday Board Games Podcast. This includes Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, and Apple.
So we want to thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I've been your host, Daniel.
And I've been your host, Daniel.
And we want to thank you for listening to Everyday Board Games.
And remember, every day is a good day for board gaming.